What's up, you guys? This is Devin from Project Sax, and we're back with another Project Sax episode. Today we're going to be talking about circular breathing. Now, circular breathing is a very popular technique. It's used by many wind instrumentalists, and what circular breathing literally is it's the wind instrumentalist playing a note or several notes under one breath span over a long period of time, past the average person's breath span, like 9 minutes, 10 minutes, hours sometimes, depending on who is playing and who is performing. Kenny G does this a lot in his performances when he wants to show off and show out and do something popular to get the crowd riled up, right? In a positive manner, of course. So he'll circular breathe, and this shows how good of a musician he is. But I'm here to tell you that circular breathing is extremely easy. It's extremely easy. It's just about wrapping your mind around it. Now, there's positives and negatives to circular breathing, and everybody knows this, that knows about circular breathing and heard people circular breathe and know how to do circular breathing themselves. Even Kenny G said that he's been doing it for years to get it. It's okay now. It's not as good as he wants it to be, but the thing about it is it takes a long time to master seamlessly. And I've been doing circular breathing for quite a while, but I wanted to know a way to teach other people, because a lot of people want to learn how to do it. They feel like it's a very important thing to know how to do. They want to add it to their repertoire. They want to use it in a certain way. And I said, hey, well, let me see if I can find a way to teach everybody so they can do it for themselves. And the easiest way I can think about teaching everybody is with what I like to call balloon theory. Now, it's not a foolproof theory, but it's the closest way I can get you to thinking about it in an easy fashion. Now, you know when you're a little kid and you got your 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old birthday party and you're blowing up balloons, right? And you learn how to blow up a balloon. When you're blowing up a balloon, simple fact about the balloon is a lot like the instrument. The instrument itself does not need all of your air 100% of the time, all the time, because you pass out. It does not need 100% of your air all the time. That's a misconception that a lot of people who don't play instruments think about. They're like, oh, I need a whole bunch of air to play saxophone. No, you don't. You need efficient air. There's a difference between regular people just blowing air into it and efficiently piercing your air through that instrument and getting a desirable sound. There's two different things, because you have dynamics, which don't take a lot of air, but a lot of air control. So with that being said, the instrument is a lot like a balloon, in which it'll blow up. In an instrument's case, it'll make sound as long as you have the right air control behind it. Now, when you're blowing a balloon, you got to stiffen up your lips, right? And a lot like the instrument, you have to have a certain embouchure to make that air go through the way you want to. If you don't have the right embouchure or the right mouth muscles in the right fashion and the right amount of air, it will not go through this balloon. Everybody knows this. When you're a kid, you're like, and you're blowing it and it's not working. Well, in the fact of the balloon, when you start to blow it up, correct? You start to blow it up, you start to actually see the balloon expand. When you start to blow the instrument with the correct embouchure, like the balloon, you'll start to get a result. And in the instrument case, it's the good sound or sound just in general. Well, when you look in the books and all the beginning books, you start to understand, they want you to have a tight embouchure for this type of note and have a certain embouchure for this type of note. Well, once you learn that, circular breathing kind of breaks that mold, right? And in your embouchure, you actually start to blow up your cheeks a lot more. And this is where your reserve air will be. Because what you're actually doing in circular breathing, you're actually breathing. You're actually breathing, but you're breathing seamlessly and replenishing your saxophone with just the amount of air consistently, so people won't know that you're actually breathing. So if you're able to reserve air, blow it into the horn while you're receiving air through your nose, then you're successfully done circular breathing. But there entails certain notes need certain embouchures, and then the down part about circular breathing is that embouchure will start to falter when you circular breathe, when you do the technique, So your tone starts to falter a little bit, and a lot of people complain about circular breathing because it wrecks your tone, stuff like that. Well, there's certain ways you can get around that, and I'll teach that later. But for now, you just take a balloon, you start to blow it up, and you notice this as you're blowing up the balloon, that when you blow up the balloon, you don't need all the air that you think you need, because the balloon starts to expand and starts to reverse that pressure back on you. And you don't feel a lot of reverse pressure, but you know that it's already tight and it's full. The tighter it gets, the less air you need, the more muscle you need to push your air through that balloon, right? So, long story short, find out how much air you need, and you don't just take your mouth off the the balloon, right? You keep your mouth on the balloon because you know you have reserve air. So you keep putting that air in the balloon, and you keep sucking it through your nose, and keeping your mouth on the actual balloon. Keep that air in those cheeks, and use that air in your cheeks when they're needed. Some other tricks you might want to try: don't try to blow as much air out as possible. Try to blow out a little bit of air at a time. Do not blow out, you'll pass out. I promise you. This video is coming with a disclaimer. You will pass out. Try to blow out a little bit of air at a time, just enough to make a note. And focus on getting as much air in your mouth reserved as possible. Make that little noise. Breathe, Kenny G did it great in his explanation of how to do circular breathing. Well, you're making this noise, and you're breathing at the same time, so, So, if you're blowing, you're breathing in a way, and then when you get advanced, you'll know when to breathe to circular breathe and extend your note. So I'm Darren from Project Sax. Wish you guys good sound. I wish you good luck. Stay tuned for more episodes on circular breathing. I'll try different ways to teach you guys and show you guys how to circular breathe. But it's awesome for a lot of other things than just doing a parlor trick on stage or doing a special trick on stage. It can have a lot of practical applications, and I'll show you guys that later. I'm Darren from Project Sax. Once again, I'm wishing guys good sound. Literally, guys, all you're doing is pushing out air and breathing it in at the same time. Now, it might sound very, very complicated because that's not what the books tell you to do, armature-wise, air-wise, or anything like that. But just try it. If you're making air through your nose, you're making air come out your mouth, you're pretty much circular breathing. Now, make sure over the long period of time that you manage your air correctly, and you should be fine. Don't pass out.